all to do a little something for me. So I'm gonna sing a song real quick. And the first thing I need is some support and some love. So, and that's kind of the theme of this entire event. So we're just gonna get this started. So if you hear something that you like, I need to know that. So give me a snap, give me, woo, yes, something. I just need feedback. I just need lots of feedback, okay? That'll make me feel good. And then the second thing is, I need you all to actually sing. Oh, and a hush comes over the room. It's okay, it's okay. I'm not worried. I believe in you. Whether you sing in the shower or you do 4-part harmony with Talisman, it's okay. I just need you to sing today. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go like this. Oh, oh, yes, you all sound beautiful. Oh, one more time for me. And oh, beautiful. All right, let's do it. 1, 2. I have made mistakes. I have made mistakes. I continue to make them. The promises I've made. The promises I've made. I continue to break them. And all the doubts I faced, all the doubts I faced, I continue to face them. But nothing is waste, nothing is waste if I learn from it. The sun does not cause us, the sun does not cause us to grow. You whole, oh, you all got me? And beautiful. It will make you whole. You have made mistakes, woo, and you will make mistakes, and you'll continue to make them. That's right, right? Promises you make. We will make mistakes. We will make mistakes. We'll continue to make them. The promises we've made, the promises we make, we'll continue to break them. And all the doubts we face, all the doubts we face, so we'll continue to face them. But nothing is a waste. No, introducing to you our MC for tonight. I give you Stanford alum, writer, actress, and incredible comedian, Miss Olivia Harewood. Woo!
This is the best intro music I've ever had. My intensity level just went like that. Oh my God, hi you guys, welcome to Stanford I Screwed Up. Yeah, it's the show about screwing up. So I am Olivia, I'm gonna be your screwing up spirit guide. So come along with me, don't be scared. The people, this is an amazing show, so just like get that settled in. The people who put it together are awesome. And when they came to me about hosting it, they were like, yeah, it's a show about failure. So we don't know if maybe you have like some story about failure yourself that you could share with us. And I was like, a story about failure. Do I have one of those? Let me think. Oh wait, yes, I was born. Chapter 1. I was born in March, which felt like a failure in and of itself because you're born and the calendar says March and you're like, I'm just a baby. I can read, but I can't march. That's ridiculous. Chapter 2, I become a little kid. A weird little kid with really dry skin. My skin was dry, guys. Not a little dry, very dry, noticeably dry. So much so that I got teased at school. So in an effort, thank you. That's what this is about, mutual support. So in an effort to stop the teasing, my parents slathered me in olive oil every day and then sent me to school. Because they were like, you know what? She's getting teased now, but I think the problem will get better if she's shiny and smells like pasta. There you go, little girl. Also, around that same age, I had a speech impediment. Are any of my speech impediment peeps in the house? That's right, there's a lot of us. Don't be ashamed. I don't know if the rest of you don't know anything about speech impediments. The thing about them is, you can't hear them, but everyone else can hear them. So I had a speech impediment. I couldn't say R, which is a difficult letter for a lot of us. But there was a group of girls, they were like a little gang, and they were older than me. And every day, they would come and find me, and they'd be like, hey, Olivia, do you want to play a game? And I'd be like, sure. And they'd be like, here's the rules. We say bunny, you say wabbit. Bunny, wabbit. Bunny, wabbit. And they'd laugh. And I'd be like, oh my God, I am so hilarious. I should do this. As a job, I have what it takes. Chapter 3, at this point they were like, you know, you don't have to list every failure you've ever had. You can cut it off at some point. And I was like, wait, are you sure? Because I have a really, really good one about how I took a stapler and stapled 2 of my fingers together because I thought maybe the stapler could tell the difference between a stack of paper and a human being. I was 19. I have more, but we'll leave it at that for now. Real quick, just so you guys know, the bathrooms are to my right. We can make some mistakes, but we can't make that type of mistake. They're over there. And please visit the donut and coffee cart, which are like up around there somewhere. Missing those would be a true mistake. Also, we've never done this before. It's a brand new thing. We're really excited about it, and since it's failure themed, we really have almost nothing to lose. Real quick. That's right. It's a contingency. Let's get the love in the house all warmed up. Can I hear you guys make some noise, please? That was great. You nailed it. All right, please put your hands together for our first speaker, Maya Cruz.
Where's my boo thing? There you are. Okay. How y'all doing tonight? Okay, they set this up for people who grew. Okay. So, my name's Maya, and I just graduated in December 2014. So, I just graduated from Stanford University, okay? That degree is mine. I earned it. It's going on my wall. And believe it or not, it's going to be surrounded by all my framed college rejection letters. I was originally class of 2012, failed multiple classes. I even earned some D's, and yes, I earned them. I could potentially forge Harry Elam's name, don't tell him, because I have received enough letters from him informing me of the obvious. His letters read roughly, yeah, if you could stop sucking at life so much, that'd be great. I dealt with academic probation and even suspension. My transcript isn't pretty, but it tells a story. It boasts D's and my poor performance in some classes, but how can that possibly outshine the A's, the B's, and even the C's? Those were my favorite. Those were the hardest grades that I earned here. What the transcript didn't remind me of, and frankly what Stanford culture forgets to remind me of, is that those failures and those shortcomings are only the reflections of the work that I did in that specific class. With glaring D's and NPs on that transcript, they don't highlight that a suspension didn't deter me from returning a year later. It doesn't show that even during my suspension, I went to college elsewhere, committed to my learning. I'm loving the love. It doesn't show that even after a second suspension, I came back for more. Masochism. And I finished. Now, I don't want to be defined by my classwork, by my GPA, by the work in one class or one quarter. I don't want my grades to be the only thing I think about when I think about my time here at Stanford. I had a fantastic time here at Stanford. I did vagina monologues. I chaired the Stanford powwow. You want to talk? Whew. I even danced with los salseros. Any salseros out here? No? Yeah, they all dancing. Some of my teammates are even my bridesmaids later this year. So often we hear, this is the best 4 years of your life. Hell, I hope not. This was the hardest 6 years of my life. This is where I learned that making too many small, poor decisions pretty quickly adds up into a really rough quarter. This is where I realized that procrastination wasn't really something I could joke about anymore, because it was out of control. This is where I learned that my feelings of inadequacy, my imposter syndrome, never really went away after freshman year. I realized that all of my friends, my brilliant circle of friends, all felt the exact same way. They were seniors still questioning their admission. I had a family and a community who were relying on me to follow through to the finish, regardless of my GPA. This is where I learned to fight back, to push forward, and how very tightly intertwined my fears and my ambitions really are. I know a lot of people who've been on probation, a lot of people who've been suspended, and even people who've just failed a class, and they never come out of hiding. Sure, I feel exposed telling my story here, but I hope by doing so, people stop feeling so bad if this is just where they're at. My degree looks like everybody else's. Crazy enough, they use the same paper, the same font, and it comes from the same university. I graduated, I did the wacky walk, I went to native grad. I cried tears of shock and joy and exhaustion after my last final. My degree is mine because I earned it, every D and every A. I've moved on to a job in GSB executive education. I'm planning a wedding in the fall. I found a smart one. I'm taking care of myself inside and out. and I'm planning my next steps. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some learnings in here. For example, I have this job, but it's not the greatest fit for me, and that's okay. The difference is now I have a faster recoil. Since I've graduated, not one person has asked me what grades I got here or what my GPA was when I left. They hear what matters. I finished, and I finished in the face of every challenge you could possibly imagine, whether it was external or self-created. They congratulate me. We move on. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how we should deal with failure. You acknowledge it, you learn from it, and you move on. Thank you.
You guys, Maya is so awesome. That was amazing. There's also really good information in there, especially the part about forging signatures. If you guys aren't doing that now, you need to get on it. Because it's a useful skill, both now and in the world. Next up, we have the hilarious Brandon Powell with the top 10 ways to screw up at Stanford. Here you go.
So throughout the night, I'm going to count down the top 10 ways to screw up at Stanford. Number 10, getting your roommate's attention by saying, "Hey, roommate," all year because you forgot their name and you're too embarrassed to ask. Number 9, not studying for Math 51. Why? Because Math 51, full moon on the quad, Math 51, wine and cheese, Math 51, anything but Math 51. Number 8, being late for class all quarter because you can't, for the life of you, find Annenberg and you are too cool to ask for directions. And number 7, reposting your high school friends' embarrassing photos instead of studying.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Gavin.
I'm a rapper.
And I'm a producer.
And we are 0008. We have a quick intro for you guys for the song Screwing Up. We have a music video. It's going to be great. Here it goes. Screwing up is easy to do.
But we don't want to boo.
It's something that we want to cheer.
There's nothing to fear.
It happens to the best of us. Scratch that, to all of us.
Right.
This song is a collection of fails.
All told through epic
The
tales.
song is meant to be funny.
So feel free to laugh, honey.
So drop that beat, G
Buddy.
money.
Let's do this. G Money coming at you live. 0008. Woo!
Just the other day, I was sitting in class, getting back a test that I hoped I had passed. Tia leaves it face down, not even a glance. I'm praying to God that there's the smallest chance. That's when I flipped it over to see the grade, and it almost sent me into a deep-ass rage. That's when I realized that this is pretty norm. And then I said screw it and let out the storm. Walking down the street in the middle of night, catching up to my friends and no one in sight. Then I hear the question, what's behind your hip? Shit, guess what? Now I have admit people walking by, I look dumb as a brick. Well, fuck them, cause I thought it was pretty slick. Sitting on the curb, got something in my eye. I swear and I swear, I'm not a bad guy. Sitting in econ feeling hella confused. For the last 10 minutes, I've been kinda removed. That's when I raised my hand to ask a question. Teleport now to the Great Depression. Everybody looking like I don't belong here. It's not that hard to pay attention, they sneer. I said screw this and got up to leave class. But before I left, you got me for the notes, bruh.
Screwing up, screwing up, screwing up, Screwing up is not that lame, it's what makes us all the same. There really isn't any shame, there's no one to blame.
Chilling with the boys, playing a pickup game. Trying to get open, then I hear my name. That's when I looked away, cause I was trying to stall. They call me Mr. Freeze when I get the ball. At that point I knew I couldn't stall anymore. I knew I was open, so I had to score. So I stuck my hands out and caught the pass. Looking at the hoop, this has gotta be cash. My head fell down, back in the Great Depression. I knew I had just made a bad first impression. But then I turned away and see my boy John. It's chill cause I know he's one I can count on. I go over to say hi and see what's the hat. As I get closer, I hear him say that we
Wow,
smile. That was really scrap.
I go in for a hug and he a handshake. This one's so awkward it could take the cake. Work in the library to cubicle. Trying to be productive and unmovable. I'm in the best spot and someone trying to creep. I would say fuck off cause I'm trying to sleep. No shame I've fallen asleep in the library. Actually it's more like the contrary. So don't try and hide it and be a crybaby. Be proud of your failures at Stanford, baby. Screwing up, but up. Screwing up, the up. Screwing up, screwing up.
Sitting outside, chilling on the bench. Shades on, cars popping, feeling so dead. I rolled to my left on a board like a big shot. Thought to bomb a hill, oh shit, without a second thought. Flying past trees, about to hit a knee high. Massachusetts State House, our house, White House. Gotta get off before the intersection. Damn, it's tough to deal with imperfections. 10 a.m., gotta do some shit. CS midterms and FIFA celebrations. It's gonna be a great day, I admit. Except for the fact I have morning hesitations. 1 snooze, 2 snooze, 5 snooze here. I roll overhead, call the world a spin. And then I get up and check the clock, and that's when it hits me like a big shock.
At this point now you've heard all of our stories. Hope you understand failing in all its glory. It's a common topic that's hesitated, but for reals it should be celebrated. So get on your feet for this last chorus and sing like you've seen a Tyrannosaurus. I hope you didn't think we were a bore. All I can say now is four.
Screwing up, 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 screwing up, 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 screwing up, 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 screwing up, up, up. Screwing up takes a lot of guts. Along the way you'll get some cuts. So please, my friend, don't be afraid. Screwing up, 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 up.
Triple 08, yeah.
Real quick, by noise, how many of you guys out here are freshmen right now? I feel like you're gonna win. How many sophomores? That wasn't bad, that was good. Feel good. I mean, have the slump, but feel good. How, juniors? Yeah! Aggressive. You should live it up while you have time. Seniors? I know, it's not as good, is it? That's okay, there should be lots of freshmen. Freshmen have the most screwing up left to do. It'll be great. Life is good at all phases, it's fine. Speaking of screwing up, as a freshman, the next group would not let me sing with them because I wasn't very good. Everyday people, everybody.
I see you, ugly!
I see you, Conrad! I see you, Sienna!
We all see you, Patrick!
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. But that's not possible. Tell me, can you weather the storm? 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there for me. Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, can you stand the rain? Storms will come. This we know for sure.
This we know for sure.
Tell me, can you stand the rain?
Love unconditional. I'm not asking this of you. Ooh.
done.
'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me. When it's tough, he won't run. He will always be right there for me. Sunny days, everybody loves them too. Can you stand it? Can you stand it? Oh, baby. Storms will come. This we know for sure.
This we know for sure.
Can you stand the rain? Whoa. Can you stand the rain?
No pressure, no pressure.
The rain.
'Cause I need you and I want you and I love you. Will you be there for me?
Come on, baby. Let's get wet.
Storms will come, this we know for sure. The rain, the rain, the rain.
Hi guys, thanks so much for coming out. We're Everyday People, R&B, Motown, and Soul acapella group on campus. The song you just heard was Can You Stand the Rain, originally by Boyz II Men. The next song we're singing is a modern interpretation of African American spiritual called Oh Mary, Don't You Weep. And although the original story has its roots in the Christian faith, we think it has a message that has a broader appeal, and that's even when the times are bad, keep your head up and persevere, and good things will happen. Hope you guys enjoy.
I'm singing Mary. Tell Martha not to mourn. I'm singing Mary. Tell Martha not to mourn. The Pharaoh's army drowned in the Red Sea. Oh Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn. I'm singing Mary. Tell Martha not to mourn. I'm singing Mary. Tell Martha not to mourn. And the Pharaoh's army drowned in the Red Sea. Oh Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn. No.
I'm singing if I could. I believe that I would. Surely would. I'm a stand on the back that Moses stood. The Pharaoh's army. You're gonna be drowned in the Red Sea. I'm singing Mary. Tell Martha, don't you mourn. I'm singing if I could. I surely would. I'm standing on that rock where Moses stood. Pharaoh's army be drowned, be drowned. I'm singing Mary. Said I'm singing Mary. I think I need someone to help me sing this song. I think I need to hear it one more time. Singing Mary. Said I'm singing Mary. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Yeah, I'm singing Mary. I'm singing Mary, don't you mourn. Don't you mourn. Oh, Mary, don't weep. And don't you worry about tomorrow. All your troubles and your sorrows. Don't you cry no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. I know you got your problems. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. The Pharaoh's army. Oh, they be drowned, be drowned. I'm singing Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha, don't you mourn.
Damn it, everyday people. So good. They're so good with those velvety smooth harmonies. How do they practice? How do they not just make out with each other? Just kidding, just kidding. I'm sure they make out all the time. Speaking of talent, now here with a poem is Jessica Reed.
The soles of my feet were vandalized with cracks. Beneath them resided invasive enclaves of broken scarlet shells that pierced like knives, they stabbed so deep. They devoured my insides and made them bleed into the depths of insecurity. I forgot how to hold on to my vital parts the moment I let rock bottom define me. Have you ever walked on eggshells? Maybe you never have, but for almost all of my existence, fear haunted me with the persistence that prevented me from embracing my essence. Morphing the ground into shells of lies that screamed, "You are despicably different. Jessica, you are despicably different." Envision me waking up every morning. Before I could even recognize the miracle of a sunrise, I indulged in a mental breakfast that fed me lies. I choked on scrambled eggs that still carried pieces of shells. Those shells reminded me of how I submitted to the trepidation that I was not good enough. My toast was hardened by pessimism, and my water was made salty by my tears. Before I could even recognize the miracle of a sunrise, I was paralyzed by the thoughts that I habitually consumed. So, if you were to close your eyes with glasses that see beyond my surface, you would see how I believed that I was void of purpose. For years, I have failed to believe in myself. So I made room for shells that did nothing to protect me. And I've struggled with surrendering self-love to fear's deceiving wealth. The soles of my feet were vandalized with cracks. Beneath them resided invasive enclaves of broken scarlet shells that pierced like knives, they stabbed so deep, they devoured my insides and made them bleed into the depths of insecurity. I forgot how to hold on to my vital parts the moment that I allowed rock bottom to define me. But now, I am learning to remember. I still walk on those eggshells every now and then, and it hurts every time. But I've grown to recognize the sunrise first. It lightens up new paths that were before it unseen. I am alive. Thank you, guys.
don't have to hurry, don't have to speed. Not everything that a good gal needs, your man slips in when I go out. You ain't got a darn thing to worry about. Your songs all sung and your prayers all prayed. Groceries in your kitchen and your rent's all paid. $5 stockings, $10 shoes. Everything to gain and not a darn thing to lose. It's a mystery to me I cannot see. Mama, how you can have the blues this morning. It's a mystery to me. Your papa can't see. Mama, how you can have the blues. Hardest time, how you can have the blues.
Hello again. The number 6 way to screw up at Stanford. Taking 21 units against the advice of your advisor's advisor, your roommate, your cousin, your roommate's cousin, and yourself during last quarter's finals. Number 5, believing downtime will magically appear in your packed schedule. Number 4, thinking smart people don't take breaks. And number 3, waiting until spring to find a summer internship. Hey, wait, that's normal. I'm gonna work on getting a new number 3.
Round of applause for Brandon. I love Brandon. Those are so funny. If anyone has any internships for me, I will be backstage after the show. I'm not gonna ask about that right now. All right, great. Let's keep it rolling. Do you guys want more stories? I thought so. I have more for you. Put your hands together for Inez Gerard Urson.
Hi, guys. Yeah, you ready for this, huh? Okay. I failed a lot. As in, I failed in the minor, disappointingly nagging way, but also in the large-scale, catastrophic, oh shit, I've permanently screwed up my life kind of way. I've strutted in front of a bunch of cute boys with my skirt tucked into my underpants, and I failed in every aspect of my life in freshman year of college. I didn't pass my first quarter at Stanford. I mean, I even failed the very first week. Within 3 days of school, I found myself not at a frat party, but in the voluntary psych ward of Stanford Hospital. I'd been dealing with depression and an eating disorder throughout high school, but it really got worse when I left home and came here for college. It was a culture shock coming here from Norway, and added to the fact that I was at a dangerously low weight and my mom had just been diagnosed with cancer, I started at one of the toughest universities in the world on the verge of a mental breakdown. Nevertheless, despite going to the psych ward twice and spending half of my first quarter in treatment, I stuck it out, convinced that I could get better here and terrified of going home to face my mother's illness. Eventually, though, I ended up leaving Stanford spring quarter my freshman year. It turned out the issues that I was facing were too consuming to handle while going to school, and it was impossible for me to participate in academics and campus life. Things had gotten better for a little while with treatment, but after my mom visited during Parents' Weekend, I'd steadily gotten worse. And halfway through spring quarter, I stepped on the scale and everything went to hell. So I contacted my therapist, and 2 weeks later, I was at a treatment facility. I left Stanford. I left Stanford. I'd failed at successfully controlling my food intake. I'd failed at controlling my alcohol intake. And I'd failed at juggling the social demands of dorm life, plus schoolwork, plus taking care of myself. I felt like a complete failure, like I disappointed everyone that I knew, and I'd FOMO to the max, and I felt awful. But I couldn't be at Stanford. Even though I felt horrible, I'd made the right decision. Granted, I was happy with my decision because I was so ashamed of myself that I wanted to live in a cave and not see anyone for the rest of my life. But at In retrospect, I know that I was losing control over my eating disorder, and I was not handling the separation from my family or my mother's illness in a healthy way. It was not viable for me to stay at Stanford. I was walking down a deadly path, and I was playing around with my life. It feels almost overdramatic to say that, but it's true. Eating disorders are the deadliest mental illnesses out there, and add that to my extreme drinking and extreme depression, if I'd stayed any longer, I would have ended up in the hospital, one way or another. So I left, and I felt like a failure. But interestingly, people didn't see me as a failure at my treatment centers. They saw me as a success. Why? Because I'd done as best as I could in the situation I was in. I'd recognized that things were going to shit, and I left as soon as I recognized that. However, I still felt like a failure. But it was over the course of the next year and a half that I moved beyond that. I left Stanford and went to treatment. First for 8 weeks in Los Angeles, and then because I was stepping down my level, I went back to Norway. I stayed there for more than a year, first completing an 18-week eating disorder treatment program, and then I remobilized myself on my own, getting a job and working, and eventually making friends and going out with them. And that entire time, and especially after treatment, I repeatedly faced these situations where I had to make a decision. Either be paralyzed by my fear of failure and hole up in my house with my fluffy dog and Netflix, or go out and do whatever it was in spite of my woefully large spectrum of insecurities. I took it step by step, but it took me several weeks to work up the courage to send a simple email to a UAR director. It took me even longer to work up the courage to go in for a job interview, and even then I was on my phone talking to my mom until the interview, and then I called her right after. I was terrified of things that reminded me of academics, of my body, or just events that involved talking to other people. The process of remobilization and recovery was horribly long and frightening and frustrating, but by breaking things down and facing things one at a time, and holding my mom's hand, I got through it. In addition, I had to focus on why I wanted to do these things, why I wanted to get a job or send an email to a UAR director, rather than how much of a failure I felt like. The only way I could motivate myself was by focusing on why I enjoyed doing it, for I found fear to be more paralyzing than helpful. Now I'm back at Stanford. You could say that recovery is over, but I'm not done recovering. I still struggle, but I now have the coping skills to deal with the demands put on me by life at Stanford. And I have those because I decided to go to treatment when I needed to. Academics and achievement are important, but it's more important to recognize when you need help and when you need to ask someone for it, yeah. You can get out of any rut by finding positive motivation in yourself and breaking things down into tiny chunks and relying on those closest to you for support. But the most important thing you can do when you feel down is ask for help. Ask for help, you guys. Thank you.
That was amazing. One more round of applause for Inez. That was awesome. So rad. So cool. This next group begged me to join them, but I was like, no, I'm too busy. Just kidding, I'm still a terrible singer. It's the Stanford Gospel Choir.
I see you, Ashley! I see you, Ashley! I see you!
They're so good. It's so good. I'm so happy about it. Speaking of failure, does this sweater make me look like Mr. Rogers Goes to Coachella? A little bit. That would be cool. I would watch that show for children. Get ready, because this next lady coming up is awesome. Put your hands together for Eleanor Collier.
Last fall, about time of the quarter, around week 7, when midterms and projects start to pile up and everyone starts to go a little bit insane, I called my mom. As usual, she got on my case for not sleeping enough, yada yada, which I usually tolerate with a yes, mom. But this time, I found myself becoming a little bit defensive. Where did she expect me to find more hours in the day to sleep when I already was using all of them to get things done and still failing at a lot of things? I started listing off all the things I absolutely had to do and why they mattered so much. This creative writing assignment is crucial to my growth as a writer, I told her. No, it's not, she said. This, of course, did not go over very well, but before I could get out a retort, she went on, "It's important, but not crucial. None of what you're doing is crucial. Sleep is crucial. Friends and family are crucial." Later that night, I thought about what my mom had said. I realized that she was totally right. And since for me, thinking and writing are pretty much the same thing, my realization took the form of this poem that I'm about to read you. Not crucial. It's okay if you're tired. It's okay if you have unanswered questions on green Post-it notes and untended people on pink ones. It's okay if you get up tomorrow and you skip your run so you can do the English homework you didn't do tonight because you were busy feeding hungry thoughts and feelings. It's okay if you go to bed a little bit baffled, a little bit unsatisfied. It's okay to feel crumpled by a practice midterm. It's okay to feel trampled by a writing assignment. It's okay to feel smothered by a future you may be letting go of simply because there's no time to inspect it before it whizzes by on the conveyor belt of time. It's okay if the puzzle pieces of hours in a day and things to be done don't match up. And it's okay if you begin to feel like you've failed, which is its own kind of failure. It's okay to fail. It's okay to let that slip, whatever it is, valuable, important, central to X cause. It's not crucial. The day after, I talked with my mom and wrote "Not Crucial." I hung out with a dear friend of mine who was having one of those drowning in work and midterms sort of days. I could tell he was feeling exactly as I had been the day before. So before he went to go cram for his yes assignment, I said, "Wait right here." I ran up to my room, ripped "Not Crucial" off the wall, ran back down, and gave him the poem, along with my mother's wisdom. Later that evening, he showed up at my door, and he handed me a poem he'd written in response to "Not Crucial." His poem was called "Crucial." You know what's crucial? Eye contact, and shared experience, and lights, leaves, trees, flowers, breath, and moments to catch it. A heart that beats at the speed of life and not at the speed of life or death. That's crucial.
I like the word crucial. It's fun to say. It sounds like it should have an SH in the middle, but it doesn't. I went to Stanford. Let's move on. Our next speaker is the amazing Grishma Samashaker. Enjoy.
Hi, everyone. I actually wrote this poem freshman year while I was taking a 20-unit winter quarter and also trying to stay in shape, as we do. I've come a long way since then, but I wanted to share this as a testament to the type of people you have already found or will hopefully find here, and a personal shout out to my own cuddly loving friends. It's called T-Rex-itis. I am a dinosaur, over 65 million years old, but only in terms of time. The silly concept that humans created to document our extinction and to declare themselves living. At the gym, I sweat like them, swear like them, until no one can see my scales. The week before finals, I lifted a few too many pounds and ended up stuck like this. Speak of the beast, my T-Rex arms left me cursing as I struggled to dress myself the next morning, hunched over my handlebars, falling out of bed, trying to reach my glasses, and generally miserable.
You got this.
T-Rex is Stalin. How could something so wrong be so right? I have learned that pain is only sometimes weakness leaving the body. More often, it is your body learning what makes it weak, learning how to rip apart and grow together again, not necessarily stronger, but more wary of its limits. I am quite talented when it comes to choosing weights too heavy for my spirit. This little reptilian brain is hidden inside a too heavy, too impressive skull that does not always want to think so hard, try so hard, work so hard. But lifting is obligation when you are a predator, raised to hunt and conquer, defeat and accomplish alone. Alone until you show me how to hunt in a pack, how to pick berries when I fail at taking down the triceratops, how to sing whenever I want to, because I want to, because I can. How to stop sizing myself up against all the other T-Rexes and their overachieving, carnivorous, glorified hunting campaigns. Why can I see your heart through your skin? It bumps and thuds and flows into me even when we don't hug. I know, I can't stretch them out myself. It will hurt less if I admit it. It will hurt less if I try. If I stop saying I'm fine and I'm doing well and yeah, let's catch up tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Fine. I will let you stretch out my arms. While you're at it, bring me some burning wood and I will swallow the flames, melt the scales and the claws and the tough hide. Someday I will bury my dinosaur bones somewhere. They will fossilize over time and appear in a museum exhibit. You and I will visit the museum together and marvel at how incredibly tough these creatures must have been. You might take my hand and ask me, "What are you thinking?" And I will respond, "The skin is so soft, this hair so soft, your eyes so soft. When you are already reaching to help me, I should stop pretending to be cold-blooded and covered in scales. Maybe I should let you love me." Thank you.
News for children.
Yay! What are your plans for the future, little girl?
I'm a boy.
Do you know what you want to be when you grow up? Ice cream.
That's a good answer, but you can't be ice cream. Believe me, I've tried.
I don't know what I want to be.
Well, you need to decide.
Right now?
Right now, more like yesterday.
But yesterday is over.
Yep. And the kid who picked his career path yesterday will one day be your boss.
Is he nice?
Of course he's not nice. He's a winner. He's not here to make friends. He's here to wield unmitigated power as the head of a corporation that turns baby ducks into cigarettes. And he will unceremoniously fire you the day before your retirement benefits kick in.
I don't want to smoke baby ducks.
Well, then you need to get your ass into gear. This is America, the land of opportunity, the land of Oprah, the land of Oprah-tunity. You can achieve your dreams, but you have to work for it. Do you even have a job?
I thought this was my job.
No, I'm not paying you.
I'm only 4. I can't get a real job.
Not with that attitude. Do you have a college degree?
No.
You need to get one. But don't take out student loans. Student loans will ruin your life. Do you have thousands and thousands of dollars?
No.
You might need to take out loans then.
Okay, I'll take out student loans.
I just told you, student loans will ruin your life.
Then I won't go to college.
Not going to college will ruin your life.
Then what do I do?
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
What are bootstraps?
Bootstraps are something people say when they can't solve your problem and they don't want to talk to you anymore.
But what do they...
Bootstraps.
News for children.
Number 3, joining Stanford Band in hopes of deepening your musical repertoire. Number 2, believing that you and your friends pulling 3 all-nighters in 1 week will somehow make you the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy of productivity. And the number 1 way to screw up at Stanford is to never admit you screw up at all.
All right, we're wrapping up here. So I have a very personal story I want to share with you. That was a very handsome woman in that video. I don't know if you guys caught that. I did. So I have a little brother, and my little brother has always been really, really good at art. He's very, very talented. So naturally, I made it my goal to somehow get better and to take that away from him. So my senior year at Stanford, I took an art class, and I worked really hard in the art class, and it was probably the hardest class I took the whole time I was here. The middle of the class, we had to make like a molding out of something like paper. It was like a paper mache type of thing. And I made what I thought was a really, really cool bug, and when the teacher came over and looked at it, he took it and he turned it over, and it was just clearly just a penis. Which I don't want to talk about, but that's what it looked like. So I was struggling, is what I'm saying. And near the end of that quarter, my brother came to visit me because he was like looking at colleges and didn't know where he wanted to go. So he came with me, and at one point I was like, okay, we got to stop by the art studio because I have a really big project due, and I'm not really sure how to do it because I missed the class where they explained it. So he was like, okay. So he came with me, and we went to the art studio, and everyone had these like really complex layouts that involved like making squares and rulers, and things were printed out, and I just didn't know what they were or what they were from. So naturally, I was just like, I'll figure it out on my own. So I got all my stuff together, and I was like, I wonder what this is. Maybe I turn it this way, maybe if I draw, I don't know what they're doing, I don't know what they're charting. And my brother, who is younger than me, just came up to me and put his hand on my shoulder, and he was like, Olivia, maybe it's time to swallow your pride and ask for help. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. You're more mature than me. I should have given you away as a baby. Anyway, let me really quick thank the following people. First of all, our co-sponsors, the Stanford Storytelling Project. Round of applause. More than that, though. They're a big deal. Stanford Storytelling Project and Cardinal night. That sounds a little sexier than it is. And of course, the amazing Duck Stop Advisory Board volunteers who have made tonight as unscrewed up as possible. Round of applause. Wild applause. Furious applause. It's the end. Your hands will be fine, I think. All right, cool. Very good. And let me thank the Resilience team, Jessica Anderson, Adina Glickman. Yeah, yell for these people. And Eula Palui. Woo! Yeah, girls. Welcome them. Honor them, honor them.
Hi, everyone again. We are the Resilience Project, and our... Sorry, yeah, she's in a costume. Sorry, she's a cow. We're the Resilience Project, and I don't know if you've heard of us, but we are here for you, our flawed, stressed, and blessed students. And the purpose is really simple. It's for us to help you face, embrace, and learn from the setbacks and rejections and failures that inevitably come with being Stanford students and human beings.
Everyone has resilience. If you've learned to walk, if you learn to talk, if you learn to put a microphone in a way where it faces you, if you learn to do anything in life, really, you didn't do it perfectly the first time.
Our message is simple. Learn from failure and grow your resilience. We have one more number for you.
Too fast right now, all my deadlines looming large. A stack of books around me, and it's time I must take charge. Midterms are coming, and we all must try our best. But I've given up, just wing the test. No time today, no perfect score. I procrastinated way too long. Write this, solve that, perfect it all. Can't do it all. Screw it all, screw it all. My GPA